Wayne Manis retired from the FBI in 1994, but still lives in the home he and his wife built 40 years ago. At the same time, he was tracking down one of America's first domestic terrorist groups, The Order. This is video from the 1980s of the headquarters for the Aryan nations near Hayden Lake. It was there that the seeds of The Order took root and led to a wild chase for Manis.
Assassinated people. They bombed a synagogue. They did armored car robberies, multiple armored car robberies and bank robberies. They did counterfeiting.
Wayne Manis is 84 years old and still remembers with clarity the most unique case he's ever covered, one that is now embellished in a new movie out this week.
It's not a documentary, for sure, because it's Hollywood and they like to create their own truths, which are not necessarily true.
Manis has his own version of the case, chronicled in his book, The Street Agent, that tells not only the story of The Order, but his law enforcement journey as well.
So I'd gone from the KKK, the Dixie Mafia, to the KKK, to the Italian Mafia, and then I got a transfer to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Manis arrived in Coeur d'Alene in February of 1984. 11 months later, he began a fiery shootout with the founder of The Order, Robert Matthews.
Robert Matthews has formed a group of would-be terrorists. And these people had decided that there was too much talk, too much rhetoric, and not enough action.
Matthews was a disciple of Aryan Nations leader Richard Butler, attending services at the compound in Hayden Lake. He grew tired of sermons and wanted action. He yearned for a whites-only nation and was planning to go to war against the U.S. government. It started with robberies in Spokane.
I'm starting to put things together.
Manis could see a pattern emerging in what appeared to be random crimes.
You are stupid. Okay, bye.
In June of '84, Jewish radio talk show host Allenberg was gunned down at his home in Denver, Colorado.
And the Ukiah robbery comes down. Big robbery. The robbery of a Brinks armored car truck loaded with money out near Ukiah, California. And it's robbed by a group of men, very organized, and they steal $3.6 million.
This robbery leads Manis to more evidence that connects Robert Matthews and The Order to this slew of crimes. The trail ends here at a house on Whidbey Island.
Bob Matthews will not surrender, and we try everything.
Gunfire erupts, and a flare accidentally sets the home on fire.
And then all of a sudden, in my face, machine gun fire. And the bullets are hitting the trees right near me. And I'm thinking, he must have night vision.
The standoff continues throughout the night.
Just in the dark there, I'm just still hoping for a surrender, because not only am I a SWAT team agent, I am the case agent. I'm responsible for bringing this all together, for putting it into a prosecutive mode. I want to talk to Bob. I want to examine the inside of that house.
But to his dismay, the house becomes engulfed in flames, burning Matthews inside.
I stand there in the darkness all night. I watch the house burn to the ground till it's nothing left but just smoldering ashes.
A possible prosecution and layers of evidence now destroyed to pieces.
His final words were, "We won't care if you in Congress swung to the left or you swung to the right. We'll simply swing you by the neck."
Other members are eventually rounded up and convicted. This case so significant that Hollywood is now releasing a movie about it 40 years later.
The movie fails to mention some really interesting and exciting things that happened with Bob Matthews and his organization. I talk about them in my book, but they aren't mentioned in the movie.
While The Order is long gone, Manis says the ideology is alive and well. He holds on to a quote from 40 years ago.
He said, "Our believers are still there, and the evil is still present in this country, and it only takes a spark to ignite the order again. And I personally, from my investigations, my knowledge of different organizations and what I even know about this area today, it's true.
If you want to know more about Mannis's endeavors in the FBI or want a deep dive into the truth of how they took down the order, you can read Mannis's book, The Street Agent, which is available now on Amazon. In studio, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.